Hi, I am Deborah Frazier, and I've been an esthetician for about 30 years. So I decided it would be a great topic to talk about skin today, being the largest organ of our body. And so basically, I'll just talk about the really important things, the functions of the skin. Since that is the largest organ of our body, our skin is in charge of heating and cooling, sensory with hot and cold. It's part of the integumentary system. I can never say that, but it's part of that system. Part of the like protecting you is a really, really big part, and we'll go into that. So two main layers of skin, the epidermal top layer, the dermal, just underneath that. So the epidermal layer, I'll just start with that, that has all of these that responds to the sun. So if you're very fair-skinned, light-skinned, it's going to respond with melanin, and it creates melanin to protect itself. And skin really, really does that. It's there to protect you. So it's also excretory, so it's excreting all the time. But the interesting part is your heating and cooling system as well. It also processes and takes in vitamin D through your skin. So it's very, very interesting that they used to think, oh, these face creams, that's just a bunch of malarkey. But it's not. Then they discovered later, like, let's say, the smoking patch, that works. They have it for seasickness. They have a patch for so many things now with the skin. So, and of course, there's different, we're born with really, what can I say, with a certain skin function, even, in our DNA, with the type of skin we have, how quickly it might age, how quickly, of course, aging is wrinkles and so forth. Age spots, of course, the response to the sun. And a good question is, a lot of people will ask me, what about aging? What can we do to slow that down? And so, yes, I can help. I can definitely help with slowing that down. But the two main factors with skin and aging, one is your natural DNA of your skin. It's what you're born with, your genes. The other is the exposure to the environment, and the biggest one, of course, is the sun. So, of course, number one, and you've heard it 1,000 times before, is people really don't want to wear sunblock. They have all kinds of ideas about SPF. So really, SPF is only protecting you from two basic spectrums of the sun. The other spectrums that are actually damaging if you get too much of them. The other spectrums of the sunshine are what we need, like one is providing you with vitamin D, which we vitally need. So just to protect your skin, if you know you're going to be in the sun, for any length of time, or if you know already that you're sensitive to the sun and you don't want to damage your skin because it is protecting, it serves a lot of functions, is a basic, they say, just a basic SPF 30. And you can get that in a lot of ways. Some honey has a natural skin protectant to it. A lot of the oxides do, like in the sunblocks, you can see that they natural have, titanium oxide. That's one of many that have a sunblock in them. Also, some foods like the orange. Eating an orange has oranges, vitamin C. Anything with vitamin C is going to help the process of protecting your skin from the damaging rays and the breakdown of the collagen, the elastin, which is going to happen as we age. But we can help prolong that and keep our skin healthy and functioning for our vital health. So, of course, things like you see people get skin cancer. That is a breakdown in skin, in the function of the skin. So we want to prevent that from happening however we can. There's SPF clothing, and even our eyes with sunglasses, sun visors, you definitely, I use it as part of my routine. I say, as I brush my teeth after that, even if I don't wash my face, I'm going to slap some sunscreen on my face, on my neck, chest, anything that's exposed, hands, okay? So there's that bit of advice. So some vitamins that you can eat, of course, like I said, anything with vitamin C in it. Old doctors tell us for our bones that we all need vitamin D for our bones. So that's that in a nutshell. Let's see. What else do I want to tell you? Oh, okay. So a good routine and a basic routine is to cleanse in the morning and at night and to protect your skin. So if you cleanse your skin in the morning, your skin at night has detoxed. While you're sleeping, your skin is renewing. Okay, it's a time of renewal, but it's also detoxing. So that is the time to feed your skin the nutrients that it needs. So you'll cleanse your skin at night. I like to use two different cleansers. I like to use an exfoliating cleanser at night. There's two different kinds of exfoliating cleansers. There is a physical one that has like a little roughage in it. This one is from pine. This is a natural antioxidant, but it has a little grittiness to it. And the other one is a chemical one. The chemical one, not like it's, people always ask me, oh my gosh, it's got, harmful chemicals. No. I mean, some can, sure. But I checked the label. And so glycolic acids from sugarcane. You've got lactic acid, which is naturally produced from the body, lactic acid from milk. Cleopatra would take a bath in lactic acid and milk. Goat milk is a great one for the skin. So just your almonds is mandelic acid. Mandelic acid from almonds is like the most gentle for people who have the most sensitive skin. And that's one that you can exfoliate your whole body with. So now I'm just talking about the face right now, but I will say we will go into further on the face would be definitely exfoliating your body. And the reason you want to exfoliate is because your skin is shedding. Okay, it sheds the dead skin cells. If you notice how soft a baby is, okay, that baby is shedding that skin because it's growing like a snake. It's growing and shedding skin quickly, like I'm going to say weekly, days, and then weeks. And then as you get older, it slows down. So, once you, I'm going to say after puberty, then it's about every 30 days. So then you get a buildup of that dead skin cell. And what happens is anything that you try to feed your face with, it's just laying on top of dead skin. So it becomes dull. It does not hold moisture, which is, by the way, your best moisturizer is water. And so I'm going to show you how to wash your face. That sounds, I hope it's a good idea. But I'm going to show you how to wash your face. And I'm not going to really use, I'm just going to show you the movement. I don't know if I have my little, I'll just use these. So I just have, like I said, morning and night. So in the morning, I'll use a cleanser that basically is really going to take off all the nighttime detoxification, okay? I probably will use my exfoliating cleanser in the morning. So right now I'm not using that. Because at night, if the ladies wear makeup of any sort, you want a cleanser that makes it easy, which is this one, Heavy Cream. It's a creamy cleanser that also removes the makeup with one step. So really, I just basically, and I like to get a little bit of lymphatic drainage, but really you're just going to do a circular motion, and you don't need to rub. You want to be gentle. So I do little circles, forehead, temples, that feels great, up and down the nose, okay? But around the eyes, you really want to do, you could do a figure eight, but really I have to get more. All right, so you're going to come down here across the mouth, okay? Then a lot of people will want to do this. I don't. I just continue circular motion, okay? You can hear, but circular motion, okay? And then there is a little lymphatic drainage. So in the morning, I'm usually puffy. In the morning. I don't know if anybody else is. I'm going to spray some water here. So you can go very gently, like a nickel pressure around the eye, like that. Sometimes I'll do it about 8 times, if you can see. Yeah. And then your lymphatics, if you draw it right on down here, sometimes you'll see, if you're red, you'll see that whole lymphatic line. And you can see me, when I touch my skin, it turns red. And so that, if you touch your skin and you can see The redder it is, the more sensitive your skin. So I'm a little sensitive skin type. You would never, ever guess that. So you're going to just go down to the lymphatics and then to the carotid. So the lymphatics are carrying out your detoxing your skin. Okay? So you'll just do that on both sides. So that is a really nice cleansing thing to do. So in the morning, you'll use some kind of a physical exfoliator. And then most people don't like to do this, but it's the most wonderful thing because it stretches anything. Even if men, the next most important thing in the morning is to protect your skin. So you can get a moisturizer with an SPF in it, but what it'll make it, what's our number one hydrator? Water. Okay. So I have hydrosols, different kinds. I'm not advertising this, but I do know the maker of this, and this is beyond organic, and it's very, very expensive. I'm going to say that, but it feels heavenly. But it also is feeding your skin. And so the vitamins, then if you're going to layer, which is what I do, remember vitamin C is a natural protector from the sun. Let's see, my husband, he uses some aloe vera gel. And that's great for an aftershave as well. You can get some with vitamin E in it too. And aloe vera is the closest to our skin. So it's like a delivery system, like water is a delivery system. And whatever you put with the aloe it's delivered right into the skin, down to, we want to get it down to that second layer, the dermis layer. So that is going to help that. And in the exfoliation, you got rid of the dead skin. So after we've exfoliated, hydrate, and then we don't need to use that much of whatever we use. Man might be the aloe sun, whatever, after sun gel, but the aloe, or you can use, if you have sensitive skin, you should use a vitamin C product. I use very, very little, like, let's see, a drop. And so these things, we don't rub them in, we tap. They're going into the skin. Don't worry. You don't need to rub because we've already exfoliated. We've already created the passageway, okay? So, of course, my neck, but this area here, the collar area, is probably the most damaged because here the throat, the chin usually protects. It protects that area. It's usually whiter, especially you guys in Florida, especially. But that's where you want to put it, and that's all I'm putting. I'm just tapping it in there. And then, for people who are super dehydrated, I like to tell them to take a flaxseed oil just internally, or fish oil, because that really hydrates you from the inside out. If you're younger and you have some hormonal breakouts and hormonal issues, naturally I give a lot of my younger people and even adult acne people primrose oil. Again, you can just buy it and take it internally, like a capsule. But the capsule, let's see, I like the brand Barleans, Barleans. It's really, really totally natural. So the next thing in the morning, you could be using a serum, something that it depends on where you're at in your skincare. If you are trying to work with, you know, age spots, sunspots. If you have rosacea, actually we can talk about rosacea, but we'll go back. So, but the main thing I want you to do in the morning is in your layer of protection. So we've hydrated, we need to hydrate and protect. For me right now, I'm just going to use an antioxidant, which means anti-aging. Okay, I've got my vitamin C serum on. My skin feels really nice, really nice. You know, and so these are my personal products. My hands, I just cleaned them. So I will use my finger, but of course, in treatment, in my facial room, I would never do that. But, you know, just about a bean. And again, you know, you just don't need that much. Me, I use makeup. I have a sunblock in my makeup. Sometimes I just use a tinted moisturizer on top of this because I'm in Colorado, and guess, hey, it's really hard to keep your skin hydrated here. And dehydration, not only does it make you age more quickly and get wrinkles and you lose the elasticity in your skin, but, you know, it's one of the major causes actually of dying, dehydration. I lost my brother-in-law that way. So I do have a lot of experience with skin. And like I said, we can pay attention to our heart, our breath, our lungs, you know, our whole digestive tract. But your skin, it's not just about looks. It's your biggest organ. And as an esthetician, I can see a lot that's going on with someone by just looking at their skin, which is it's pretty amazing. So anyway, what happened to everybody? Uh-oh. Is everybody there? So anyway, I'm going to go on to the evening. So in the evening, I like to use a chemical exfoliator. Like I said, one of those acids. For gentler skin, I like to use one with lactic acid. That would be for drier skin, more sensitive. Glycolic acid is more for a thicker skin that tends to break out, or an oilier skin would be the glycolic at night. And at night, I like to use something, if you're really thinking about your skincare, okay, I would use something like a peptide moisturizer that's very light. And again, I'm always using vitamin A as one of those things in skincare they invented when they found out about retin-A. I'm sure you've heard of it. That's a vitamin A that has the ability to go deeply into the skin and affect the dermal junction of the skin. And then I did want to talk about disorders a little bit. But I will complete the cleansing process. So we have these fun little rollers that are made with stones. And this one is, it's the pink, so the rose quartz, you know, and yes, you can stimulate your skin with this. You can work on acupressure points, but basically you're going to follow, you can feel the muscle of the skin. When you've got your number 11, you can work on that. Okay? And then you can also work on hot and cold. But anyway, with the lymphatic drainage, we have a shui, I'm saying it wrong, stone. So it's very gentle, just along the jawline, and then again, down. You would do a little lymphatic drainage. And you could even start, like I was saying, on the cheek, on a diagonal, and then go this way, and then down. You don't need to do too much. You're just pushing the blood, so you're not pressing. You're going to press, like you had a quarter on there or something, very, very gently. Now, I do have in the morning my wake-up call, or if you're going out and you want to look better, this is always cool. It's metal, and it feels great. If you want to feel like you want a little perk up, you're going to sleep and you need to go out, that's a nice thing. I also have a very cold roller. So if you had something that you wanted to cool down, like the sunshine, too much sun, you can roll, okay? And keep it in the refrigerator, or I keep it in the freezer. But that will bring circulation into your skin immediately and cool it down if someone's really hot. It feels so delicious. Now, let's see. I wanted to talk about a little bit about acne and acne rosacea. So there are some disorders of the skin. And rosacea is actually an allergy. You have different degrees of rosacea. And so whatever is trapped under the dead skin cells, it causes inflammation, and it becomes more and more sensitive. So very gentle exfoliation on a daily basis is very important, and not a physical one, but a chemical one. Like I do have this one, it's a mild lactic acid. So they have different degrees, different companies, and you can always text me if you want me to make a recommendation. But that will release the toxins that your skin is getting inflamed about. It'll release that. And then nothing oily on rosacea type of skin. No oil, because the oil blocks the pores. That skin needs to breathe. And actually the pink, the Himalayan salt, if you have that, that is a really wonderful one to rub on that skin. Now, the acne skin, we're talking about bacteria. And whiteheads are caused from lack of exfoliation. Again, you must exfoliate if you don't want the pores to fill up with dead skin cells and excess oil. Especially in Florida, I think when you sweat a lot, it's muggy, you're going to get that. So let's see, what else? So acne, if you have it can be inflamed. There's many, of course, different degrees of acne. But when you're talking about bacteria, so it's important to keep the bacteria under control. But for immediate relief, you can use for pain. You can crush up an aspirin, make a poultice, and put that on. You can also, that will really help the pain. You can also use ice cubes, something cold compresses on that. Now, sometimes acne has a lot to do, and of course, washing the face at least twice a day and using some kind of, I would say, glycolic acid, definitely. And then occluding the skin, that means protecting it with some kind of, I would use definitely, you must use an oil-free moisturizer at all times, and pay attention to any products that might have oil in it, because that would clog the pore again. But the bacteria, I really like colloidal silver, so I would wash my face with some kind of glycolic acid cleanser, and then I would get a colloidal silver. You could do drops, you could have a spray, and that will naturally, and you could even put drops and take them internally, not that many, but you could do it twice a day like you were taking a vitamin for that, maybe 5, 6 drops internally as well. But that's a natural antibiotic, and of course you can get those from your doctor. But I've also found that especially for, we're going to say, our teenagers that have acne, and acne that is with bacteria, they might need to take primrose oil again, but some of them I have found that will help because it starts to balance the hormones. But also then, like hats have bacteria, like if they're playing sports. So definitely that hat would have to be cleaned. Pillowcases, you flip them over and change them every second day. Same thing, washcloths, you just use that to pat dry the skin. Nothing harsh on that delicate skin, nothing harsh. And so that's it for the health, those two major skin problems that people run into. I could do face exercise another day because it's muscles. I mean, our expressions cause the bigger wrinkles. That repetition of those expressions is really little, what can I say? They're really expression lines, and they're muscles. So that repetition causes the bigger lines, like definitely the number 11, okay, that I have. And I earned it. So let's see, I'm trying to think what else I can say. Oh yes, for the skin of the body, and like there's some wonderful things. The wonderful machines that help. Oh yeah, Linda's saying she wants facer size. All right, I'll do a few. But I was going to say there is, if you want to, like for me, working with doctors, because I was a medical esthetician for a while. That's kind of how I started. And so there's called the intense pulse light. Intense pulse light is a light spectrum, and it targets dark spots, freckles included, and red spots. So of course, people with really dark pigmented skin, it would burn them up. So they cannot have this. But what this does, it targets that like a laser, and I'm going to say it blows it up. So it'll darken it, both those spots, and then it just kind of dissipates, but it also at the same time tightens the skin, improves the integrity of the skin. So you can see I started to use it on patients, and I did it on both my arms, okay, myself. Feels like a little rubber band slapping against your skin. That's what it feels like. It's a, like a slap of light on your skin. So I had done both arms, and I thought, to explain to people what this is, I'm going to just do my other arm 2 more times and not do them. Well, it's amazing the difference. I'm going to go back and get some more. But I'm hoping, let's see, that you can see, it's really in the hands too, but there's the arms. You can really see the difference. This arm, only once, this one 3 times. And that was about 30 years ago. Maybe not that long, no. That was about 20 years ago. And even the hands, well, not the hands so much. All right. So same with the body. If you, are sensitive, if your immune system is down, and, be aware of when they're spraying chemicals, like for mosquitoes, spraying chemicals for the environment. Once you've showered, do put some lotion on to protect your skin. Protect it, because it's trying to protect you, help it along to do its job. So I'll put a little fear in you. Skin cancer is the worst cancer that you can have. I've seen many, many cases. And so it works like a spider web, and it webs throughout your whole body. So then it turns into, finds another host and turns into another kind of cancer. So that's why I am putting the fear in you. So it's not just about beauty. It's about protecting the skin. So, exfoliate your skin and use some good moisturizer, some oil, whatever you want. Some oils that are water soluble, as grapeseed oil is one, but I already told you about the aloe. That's fabulous. So if you've got a wound, let's say you've got a scrape, of course you could use your hydrogen peroxide on that, get it clean, and then you could use some honey as a natural cleanser and a moisturizer. That's one wonderful thing you can use if you've got some kind of scrape, because you do need to protect that until it closes up. All right, face sizes, Linda. All right, let's see. For the neck, you can tell I haven't been doing mine. So you're going to jet your jaw out like this. And then you have to tighten those muscles, and you might count, but it's a good time to do it is in the car. You can see you're tightening all this. So unfortunately, this band here, it separates as we age. It separates. And so then that's why once it separates, then it hangs, this band. So what they do when you have a facelift, they crisscross, they'll cut here just under the chin. They'll crisscross the band, and then they'll tighten it. And then you won't have that anymore, that part, just right there hanging down. All right, so the muscles, the cheekbones, I'll do the mouth too. So you're going to do an O with your mouth. And then this is the buccinator muscles, like you're a kid, and okay. And if you do it quite a few times, you're gonna get tired. And the eyes. So the eyes, let me think now. If you see, I'm opening my eyes. It doesn't help my forehead at all. But you're going to do both. You can see all of this goes away here. So we're tightening all of this here. Very interesting, huh? If you wanted to do some tuning forks, so I do ultrasound treatments. This ultrasound I have, very interesting, and I'll share it with you. And you can try to use a tuning fork. You could use your ohm on certain points, the third eye, but, there is a meridian here, right above the eyebrow here, okay? And then you have right next to the nose on either side, then right under the cheekbone here, right here. I mean, you can look at a chart and see the acupuncture chart. But the vibration, again, is what we like. Because the vibration, in the ultrasound here, is different depths of the skin. This is not like one where you go inside and see a baby or your organs. This is the ultrasound just for the skin, and basically it's vibrating, so it's fluffing up between the layers or the cells of those top layers. And then once it's done that, I layer the skin with nutrients that are anti-aging, and it deposits that and forces that into the skin to the dermal junction, which is where new cellular growth begins. And your whole skin is just vibrating beautifully. It's like when you're getting off Christopher Tim's sound table, it feels like that, but your whole face is feeling like that. So come see me in Colorado, and you too can have this. So I am going to turn my machine on and just show you how we have to always keep it wet. Then your face would already be layered. I think you can see this. Poking, let's see. Okay. I'm going to turn it on. Start. Uh-oh. What happened? Oh, that's right. I have to turn off one light and turn this on. That one? We need that one. Okay. That one. Well, we still need that one too. Let's see here. Brighter. Okay. I'm back. So it's really a great treatment with sound, which I've been doing for about 20 years at least with my clients. So when I start, hold on, I got to put it on. No. A. Oops. A. Okay. Here we go. Mode. All right. I'm trying to see this. There, you can see it now. Right. There. The water is moving and bubbling, which is really cool. Yeah. I'm going to put it on high. Yeah. All right. Haven't used it in a while. There you go. You can almost see it smoking too. And then all I do with this is you have to move it around. You have to keep it moving. But it's bringing anything I have, like my vitamin C, right into my skin. And of course, I would really... Oh, I didn't do the mouth one. Let me turn this off. It's a great little thing. You don't want to, you want to really know how to use it because, like anything, too much could cause damage. What was I going to, oh, yeah, the mouth. Okay, pretty self-explanatory, but really you would want to massage here, and I like to use my roller. I use that in a car too. So much fun. Well, who has any questions now? I'm trying to think of injuries and things like that. Oh, yeah. Don't ever attempt, if you have a mole, to remove that mole by yourself, because that could be any kind of mole, and you don't know. So regular dermatology, full body checkups once a year before anything else, especially you Floridians, but really anyone. And it doesn't really even matter what color of skin you have, okay? The darker skinned people, yes, they don't have the melanin reaction to the sun, but if they get too much sun, it can cause damage, serious damage, and break down the immunity that their skin and protection that the skin provides. So anyone? Question? I'm going to look in the chat box. I see something. Oh, good. She's got the... How did I do, Linda? How did I do with the facer sizing? Rose water. Well, rose water, Suzanne, that's one of my most favorite. I'm glad you brought that up. So rose is a natural oxygenator, and actually I offer all rose facials with a rose cleanser, essential oil. I do use some essential oils, and one of them is rose, and so it's one of the highest. It distributes oxygen throughout your skin to the cells, which is very, very important to keep them healthy. It's just, yeah, it's beautiful. Any more questions? Any kind of skin question. I didn't do eye, I could show you how to put eye cream on. So eye cream, that's too much. Really, a half a pea. So I like to put the eye cream, I start it halfway this way underneath here. And then I just begin this way. There are natural lines. They're called Langer lines. They're kind of imprinted in, it's like the pathway of the skin. You know how like the ocean makes threads in the sand? Kind of like that. And so like it'll naturally bring it where it needs to go. But, again, you see me just tapping. We don't rub. We don't use a washcloth. I like those little cloths that they sell now, little cleansing cloths that you can just get them wet. So I might just put my facial stuff on, get that little mitt wet, and then a little circular motion, that'll rinse me off. If I don't want to get my hands wet, at night, lots of times, I don't want to do the whole ordeal. So I'll just get that mitt wet. Maybe I might put a little spot of my whatever I'm using to cleanse with. And then, again, the circular motion. And these are very soft. They're not like, they don't have that rough edge like a washcloth. So, you can do better than that, for sure. So, this is about really, stepping into your beauty, into your beautiful light, and taking care of your beautiful temple. So anybody have any other questions? Because I'm going to say over and out here in a minute. And okay, good. Yes, rose water. Oh, that's what I was spraying. Rose water. That's what I was spraying on the my machine was rose water. And I usually, before I do a facial, I just lightly put it above them and just let them inhale that rose water. Is heavenly. So, any more questions about skin? That's great. And when I do sign up next, I am going to delve into the fifth, the throat chakra. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for joining in. I'm going to do over and out.